Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 9 of What If Naruto got a new tail beast from the Shinigami. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over Anime King and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, that's right. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King 2, and King 3, which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. Link will be down in the description for my other channels, so go ahead, check them out and enjoy. So without further ado, what do you say we leap right into this new episode? Starts the intro. So the last part we left off, Naruto met up with his so-called team. In fact, they were all Chunin level and above. Suigetsu, Kojiro, and Naruto's other friend Hodan. As Naruto was surprised that he was back to Jonin level. However, Hodan was known as a cannonball because of his clan rare bloodline ability. As he told Naruto that he accidentally destroyed some valuable things that put Kira in a bad situation and may demoted him. As he had a tendency to go chaotic when he was all excited, so he was now back to Jonin level. As Mito did not tell Naruto what to tell them regarding their situation upon the Chunin exams, all they need to know is that one of them needed to make it to the finals, or all of them, as they could not fail in the first rounds or the second, and they should not kill any San, Konoha, or any of the Sound Ninjas. As Suigetsu was rather mouthy about that, as Naruto told him if he failed, that he would kill him. Kojiro and Suigetsu thought that he was joking, however, Hodan knew that when pain was serious, he was dead serious. So with that, they made their way towards Konoha. It has been years since he saw the village as Naruto stepped foot in. As Pain, well, they didn't really know him, as there was a rather large bounty on his head, with him being the hunter Nin, as he had spoke to Clementine and Victor as well. The both of them had taken knives to their blades, as it turned out that they will be the guards of Mei in the final part of the exam. As Naruto's objective was to scout out the village and see what it had to offer, so he made his way there. As he made his way to go and get some ramen after settling into the hotel, as he came across Kushina, and not to mention he had a little sister. Now that was shocking. It was pleasant to talk to her, as he hadn't seen his mother in a long while, not to mention it wasn't like he hated his family or anything, so it was rather pleasant to talk to her. After which, there was a commotion between the San team and the Konoha team, as Naruto came there and broke it up. Both Mito and Erza noticed something about him, as Erza called out to him something about him that seemed so familiar, as he told her if they had met before, well, she would have known. So with that, they split apart. The next day, Naruto brought his team there, as he kept on drilling into their heads the importance of getting through the exam and not doing anything stupid. His words were merely focused on Suigetsu, as the boy was a bit, well, jumpy. The first test would most likely be a psychological test, so he had to be ready for that. So with that, Erza, Sasuke, and Mito made their way inside, along with the Kira team as well. It seems that Kushina didn't have any real grudge against all of the Kira shinobi, seeing that she was confident enough to talk to Pain. They even made a deal: if their team was to succeed, the other would buy the other unlimited ramen until they were finished eating. As Naruto almost forgot how much his mother loved to eat. Maybe he just let his mouth talk too much. as Kushina told him to come along as they made their way towards the spectator part of the exam. Arriving there, Naruto noticed that all of the people were over to their own section with their own group. As Kushina tugged him along to come over towards the Konoha section. Upon arriving over there, Naruto noticed that all of their eyes were on him and giving him a suspicious glance. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place to of yourself, and also guys, remember to stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we just leap right into this new episode, guys? Hey there, Kushina. It seems like you picked up a stray, said Asuma, as all of the eyes of the Jonins turned towards Naruto, as he could see the suspicious look in their eyes. No, this is Pain. He's a Kira Jonin I met the other day. I ran into him while we were dropping off our teams, and I thought I would invite him to tag along. Kushina replied with a grin as she took a seat at the table, as she looked expectantly over towards Naruto. He's a bit too young to be a Jonin, isn't he? The man with the bowl cut said as he looked up towards Naruto's headband, his smile dimming down a bit, though I suppose considering how old Itachi and Kakashi was when they became Jonins, it shouldn't be too much of a difference. I suppose there are prodigies in every village. As a bearded man stuck out his hand. The name is Asuma Saratobi. Pain, said Naruto as he took the man's hand before shaking it, as he took a seat. The mention of Kakashi was enough to tell Naruto that these people were likely Kakashi friends. And as Kakashi's killer, it was a bit uncomfortable. Your name is Pain, the purple woman said as she looked towards him. Well, that's a terrible name. Well, it's not that bad. It's certainly unique. The red-eyed woman said as she nudged her friend in the side. Don't mind Uncle Pain. She just enjoyed causing trouble, said Kushina. Don't worry about it, said Naruto as he waved away her comments. So I take it that all of your teams are within the Chunin exams? Yes indeed, the man in the green bodysuit said, his grin coming back full force as he thought about his team. Well, all except for Uncle. She's not a full Jonin yet. As Naruto sent her a rather bemused smile. Well, I'm sure in a few years that you can make the cut, he said. Uncle scowled in response. Screw you, she said. I'm more than ready now. It's all political. Naruto cocked the eyebrow at that, but before he could ask, he was cut off by Kushina, who turned towards the screens. It looks like our teams have all arrived. As they turned their gaze towards the screens, quieting down so they could hear what is happening. No doubt they all want to see how their team would cope, judging by the embarrassing look on Asuma's face though. When the blonde threw herself towards Uchiha, it was going to be rather amusing. As Naruto turned towards his own team, Hodan and Kojiro stood off in the side, patiently waiting for the exam to begin, while Suigetsu was antagonizing some Rain Jonin. He really was a little shit. As Naruto turned to see a boy in his late teens, gray hair approach his sister's team. Something about him was rather off. Maybe it was the way he talked or the way he walked, but it sent Naruto on edge, as he decided to listen in on what this Kabuto was saying. Back in the examination room. Yeah, I want to know about 3 people. If you have any info on them, Sasuke spoke up. The first one's a guy named Gaara. He's in the Chunin exams as well. The other 2 aren't. I want to know what you have on a Kira Shinobi called Pain, and another, a hunter named called Grim. Kabuto eyes widened a fraction hearing that. Them asking about Grim is not unexpected, considering that Team 7 had that little debacle with the team in the Land of Wave. However, he never expected him to ask about Pain. In fact, he wasn't aware that they met with him. The fact that they had though was worth knowing. He would have to make sure to send information that the Mizukage's dog was here within Konoha, and that he made contact with the last Uchiha. His master would certainly not like this, especially considering the plans he had in the works. Kabuto did not know what the Mizukage was up to, but whatever it was, he would make sure that it would not disrupt their plans. Pain's presence gave him an opportunity though, one that he could make use of right now. Who are those guys? Ino asks, as she's never heard of them before. Mito scowled, as she answered Ino, Pain, and Gaara are just some shinobi that we met the other day. Pain is apparently a Jonin despite being around our age group, and Gaara, well, he just seemed dangerous. Hearing about them will be interesting. But I want to know about Grim. He was the one who killed Kakashi after all. The same one who crippled Sakura, Ino asks. Her eyes widened at that, as the girl was still in the hospital recovering from the spinal damage that Grim had caused. The last time Ino had spoken to the girl, Sakura told her that she was gonna quit being a shinobi. Suffice to say, Sakura did not like this Grim guy. Yeah, the guy is some kind of monster, Mito said. As the others tense. They were all in the academy with Sakura, so they understood. And not to mention, while not knowing Kakashi personally, he was still a fellow Shinobi of the Hidden Leaf and a Jonin as well. So, you got anything on them, Sasuke asks. Unlike the others, he didn't really care about Sakura's injuries or Kakashi's death. Instead, he just saw 3 strong shinobis that he could use as stepping stones to measure his abilities before he killed his brother Itachi. Well, knowing their names, that will make it easier. I have a bit that I know about each of them, Kabuto said. Good, said Sasuke. Well, let us start with Gaara. He's the youngest child of the Kazekage. His stats are relatively unknown, but his team has completed several B-rank missions, so you can count on him being strong, especially since he came back from all these missions without a single scratch. Hardcore, said Kiba. What about the others, Sasuke asked as he noticed Gaara was worth fighting. Well, then we have Pain. He's a Jonin sensei and around your own age. His skills are relatively unknown as well, but there's some information that he's skilled in Kenjutsu, and he wields an axe. But apparently he's a veteran of the Civil War in Kiri, and he was with me, the 5th Mizukage, when she engaged the 4th Mizukage in combat. I don't know the details though, but the fact that he survived a battle like that shows that he's tough. Other than that, he's relatively unknown. Most likely since he disappeared 3 years ago. Maybe he specialized in a different division, became either Anfu or a hunter nin. Kabuto trailed off. He had his own suspicions on what Pain has been doing that time, but they were just suspicions, so he wouldn't say them. Still though, it will be useful to plan the distrust between Konoha and Kiri, just in case Kiri tries something funny. Which, considering Pain being here, that was a big possibility. Other than that, the only thing I know is that he's a former outcast that settled down in Kiri, so he probably has some strange and unique ability. Damn, how's a guy like that our age, Kiba said. Sounds like an interesting guy, Ino said, as she turned to Mito and Erza. You met him, right? Is he hot? He's pretty hot, yeah, Erza said, as she humored Ino. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, said Mito. Got a bit of a weird name though. He's an outcast. They're all a bit of strange lot, said Choji, as he heard tales from his father before. They might have been accepted into Kiri, but a lot of other shinobis and nations view them with suspicion. What about Grim, Sasuke said. Ah yes, the last one, Grim. He's a young hunter nin who first appeared around 3 years ago, and he's known to have ties with Kiri and part of a special infamous team known as Team Ghoul. He has been recently given an S-rank bounty by Konoha. His recent credible kill was Kakashi Hatake of Konoha and Reiga Kurosaki, a former ninja of Kiri. It is suspected that he has a link to the Uzumaki clan, considering his ability to weave chakra chains. It's also suspected that he is a member of a rogue clan, considering his ability to decay flesh with his chakra. Other than that, he is very skilled in Kenjutsu, and he is known to also wield an axe. He's a former outcast who has very strange and unique techniques as well. Shikamaru frowned as he heard that. His sharp intelligence instantly making a link between Pain and Grim. Both of them were obviously from Kiri, both of them very skilled in Kenjutsu, and the both of them used a unique weapon, an axe. Pain was known to have disappeared 3 years ago, becoming an Anvu or hunter nin, while Grim had appeared around 3 years ago. Furthermore, both of them were former outcasts. The information Kabuto had on them both was almost too close for comfort at all. But Kabuto was telling them all of this. It was like he wanted them to link the both of them together. But why? As he narrowed his eyes towards Kabuto. Wait a second, said Mito, as she caught on to what Kabuto was saying. Meanwhile, with Naruto in the teacher lounge, his eyes narrowed as he heard the information Kabuto gave out about him. It was more than what a genin should have access to, and the way it was phrased. The boy was trying to make a connection between him and Grim. It made Naruto instantly suspicious, for him having that information, and not to mention, for the reason why he did it. It was like he was trying to put a wedge between Naruto and Konoha. A few moments later, Naruto stepped in as he remembered where he was. He was in the Shinobi Academy within Konoha, in the close proximity of Kakashi's old comrades. Naruto glanced up as he saw all of them, glancing at him suspiciously. It was not surprising that they would make a conclusion on what Kabuto said so quickly. They had no solid evidence to base their assumptions on, but they didn't need evidence to be suspicious. As he turned, Kushina was looking at him with a distrustful gaze, and she also tensed up a bit. All the gazes turned hostile. This Kabuto had succeeded in making his task a lot more harder than before by bringing down so much suspicions on him. But the boy did it on purpose though. But that begs the question, why? Still, he made a mistake. He showed his hand, and now Naruto knew that he was a possible spy for the sand or the sound. And not to mention with Naruto being the proctor for the second stage of the exam. Well, that did not bode well for young Kabuto. As Naruto got up as he turned his head, he was speaking to Kushina. Well, I best head off, he said. I need to prepare for the second exam. I am one of the proctors. The scraping of a chair told him that Kushina got to her feet as well. As her face was stern. So pained, she said. Are you grim, she asked. Naruto froze as he heard that. He hadn't expected Kushina to ask such a blunt question. Not to mention the fact that she was basing all of this on the word of a Jonin. That being said, he should have known. She would have asked something like this. His mother had always been a passionate person, ruled first and foremost by her emotions. She did not twist words around like some sleazy politician. She said what was on her mind, direct and straightforward as usual. It was an abnormal trait. In Naruto's opinion, however, right now, it was just annoying, as Naruto felt all the gazes of the Jonins from Konoha locked on him. As Naruto's mind shuffled through a number of responses that he could possibly choose at the moment. First off, he could lie, make up something on the spot and hope the 5 experienced Jonin in front of him did not see through his ruse. Or secondly, he could ignore the question and walk away, as if that would actually work though. Or finally, he could be partially truthful. But those 3 options weren't so good at all. They were not good. He dismissed the second one. That would be an admission of guilt, and it would be a cowardly move if he just walked away. So he removed that from the picking. The first option line, he would have to make up something that could hold up. In between the 5 experienced Jonins, he might be more skilled when it came to fighting, tracking, and interrogation, his unique ability giving him skills that were unmatched. But in terms of other shinobi skills, such as lying and those things, he was rather average in that department. In all honesty, he doubted that he could come up with a good lie right now that could withstand their scrutiny. And if May decided to assist Konoha in the planned invasion, then the truth could get out and it would backfire horribly on him. He could make the same claim that he was from the same clan as Grimm, or he was a former student, but that would still put a lot of blame his way, and scrutiny as well, and he would be guilty by association. The final option, the truth. The moment he admitted to be Grimm, all eyes would be locked on him instantly. He wouldn't have to worry about physical harm coming to him. After all, he was a guest from Kiri. They could still try and kill him, but it would cause chaos. That being said, he could still come clean and make his justification for killing Kakashi. There was no possibility that he would ever make any friends. However, still, he would still have his head held high. But at least this way he could own it and decide what gets out. As Naruto slowly turned and he met Kushina's gaze, which was cold, unblinking, unflinching, as he looked her directly in the eyes. Yes, he said. Kushina tensed, not expecting him to actually say that. The biggest reaction came from my guy though. A dangerous glint entered his eyes, his hands tightening into fists. As Naruto could see that the man was barely holding himself back from attacking him. It seems the man must have a strong bond with a copy ninja. So you killed Kakashi, she said. Her eyes were still cold. Why, she asked. Naruto blinked. Did she just say why he killed Kakashi? He thought that his reason was obvious. Because he attacked me. He got in the way of my duties. He was a shinobi with a mission, and I was a shinobi from another village with another mission. Our missions intercepted. I gave him a number of warnings to back off and allow me to complete my mission. However, he did not take me up on them. This led to the Uchiha attacking and Kakashi assisting him, which led to the both of us fighting and me killing him before he could kill me. It was a reasonable answer and all of them knew it. They had done countless missions, and During those missions, they came up against many other shinobis. They had killed Komo shinobi, Kira shinobi, Stone shinobi, and many others from other villages. It was a fact of the world they live in. Yet, when it's one of your comrades that died in the field, it is something different. It is not just a faceless shinobi. It's someone you grew up with, someone you knew, someone you had bonds and connections with. When that happened, it became a lot more personal. It was hypocrisy at its finest. People only care when it happened to them or someone that they knew. In Naruto's mind, it was almost like a never-ending cycle of pain. Someone would go on to avenge the one that passed, and then they would eventually kill someone. The person would just turn around and try to kill them as well, and it would just recycle over and over again. What? You don't have anything to say, said Naruto as he looked at all of them. Or have you realized that I'm not just a monster, but a loyal shinobi doing my duty to my village? As your friend Kakashi was doing his duty to his village. Yes, I'm Grim, and I killed Kakashi, just as I killed hundreds of others from Kiri, the Sun, Kumo, Konoha, Taki, the Rain. Just like you Konoha shinobis have all done the same. How many hundreds of shinobi have you all killed over the course of your careers? It's different, said Guy, as he looked rather conflicted. Different how? Because it was someone that you knew that got killed this time, not some faceless nobody that you can brush off and ignore. Naruto replied sharply, his gaze shifting over towards Guy. Yes, he chose his option, and he would not hide who he was. He was pain, and he would live up to them, and he would take pride in the things that he done for his village. You're right, Asuma said Dasai, gaining looks of surprise on the others, and one of hurt and betrayal from Guy, as he saw their look as he pulled out a cigarette. The kid's right, and you know it. I know I killed dozens of enemy shinobi when I was one of the Fire Daimyo bodyguards. I have killed even more since joining up back with Konoha main forces. The kid did his duty for the village, just as we did ours for Konoha. We may not like it, we may not forget the fact that he actually killed Kakashi, but I at least can accept his reason behind it. For once I agree with Asuma, Uncle said, as she got the attention on her. Kakashi was a shinobi. He knew what he was doing, and he knew that one day he might die doing his duties for Konoha. For what it's worth, said Naruto as he got the attention back on him. Kakashi died well. He fought hard and almost killed me. It was a bit of a fabrication after all. Kakashi did plunge his hand through his chest, and that would have killed a lesser man. I still can't believe my old friend Kakashi lost to a kid like you. Guy suddenly spoke up, his voice quiet. Know this, Pain. One day we will fight, and I expect you to show me the same strength that you use to defeat Kakashi. Naruto blinked at that. He was expecting something more threatening. I have no doubt that we will meet on the field of battle. When we do, you can try your best to kill me. Guy nodded as he turned on his heel and left. Well, you're screwed, Uncle said, as she looked towards Naruto. We'll see. As he glanced towards Kushina, her gaze was conflicted. Problem, Kushina, he said. Back in waves, she said. After killing Kakashi, you had a chance to kill his Jonin team, despite knowing that they would return and tell the Hokage what happened. If you had killed them, then it's unlikely that we would have discovered who attacked them, and your bounty would have not increased, and you wouldn't have been on Konoha radar. But you let them go. Why? The other three paused, as they didn't know that part, but it was true. If he had killed them, that meant that he would never be known. No one would know that Grim was the one that killed Kakashi, as the Elemental Nation was a big place and Konoha had a lot of enemies. If he had killed those three, he could have made life so easy for himself, yet he did not. As Naruto pondered what he could say, the twisted idea of saying because I didn't want to kill my sister, Mom, came to his mind. However, that wouldn't be the best time to reveal that. He had just told them that he was the one that killed Kakashi, a close family friend. Secondly, he did not know what Mii would choose to do. While he could not dream of hurting his mother or his sisters, he wouldn't have any problem in taking down any other Konoha shinobi. And the other reason was because he built a new life for himself. While she was still his mother, he had built a new life. He was someone else now. And also, he has done so much things already. For one, killing an elite Konoha shinobi, fled the village. He had a unique bloodline. They would no doubt name him a missing name. He had to keep his mind focused on the mission and ignore all other distractions. As he shrugged his shoulders, they were children, he said. That wouldn't have normally stopped a shinobi, said Kushina. True, and like you said, I could have easily chosen to kill all three of them. Yet I didn't. I saw them and decided that killing the last Uchiha and the Hokage daughter wouldn't have been the most sensible thing to do. As Naruto turned to leave. So, you knew who they were, Kushina said. Yes. Tell me, Kushina, would you prefer if I killed them, he asked. Of course not, she said. Then be thankful I did not. Also, maybe reduce the bones you have on my head as well. It would certainly be appreciated, he said as he looked towards the scream. What? For not killing children, Kushina said, as she released a snort. Naruto shrugged. Well, I gotta get going, he said. I'm a proctor for the next exam after all. They all tensed when they heard that, as he was gonna be near their children. Near their teams. Don't worry. Guess rights work both ways. Just as you can't attack me while I'm in your village, I can't do the same to harm any of your teams. You have nothing to worry about. Didn't we just confirm I did not hurt your Jonins? Wait, I'll come with you, Uncle said. I'm also a proctor as well. That would be wonderful, he said, as she caught up with him. I believe if we put our head together, we can come up with a flashy entrance. Especially with your red eyes, she said, as Naruto walked ahead of her. Oh, come on, she said, wake up. Don't be such a pain. Time skip. At the end of the first exam, as Mito team passed through rather easily, so did the Kira team, the Sound team, Kabuto's team, and the Kazekage children. In fact, most of those who failed were the ones who had taken the Chunin exams a number of other times before. A few minutes later, as Ibiki had told them all about the real part of the test, and what it means to be a Chunin, as Mito already suspected that to see if they have the will of mind to continue, which she and her team definitely had. As she turned as her eyes met with Erza as the both of them grinned, only for one of the windows to shatter. As Mito hand quickly reached down towards her kunai pouch, a number of other Jonins reacting the same way. However, a banner was pinned up with kunais. The second proctor, Uncle Midarashi, as the woman landed and struck a pose in front of the banner. As Mito smiled, it was Uncle, a kunoichi who Mito and Erza had met a couple years ago. The woman had spent a month living in their clan compound, while their mother had worked on removing a strange seal Uncle had told them that was put on her a number of years ago, as the seal had fused itself to her chakra and soul, causing her pain if she drew on too much of her chakra, as Kushina had spent a number of years coming up with a way to remove it. When the time finally came, Uncle had to stay there for a month for her to make sure that everything went right, as Uncle was only 4 years older than them, and they had grown rather close to her. She was mischievous, and she had a peculiar humor, and not to mention she didn't care if they were the Hokage daughters or not. Alright you brats, this is no time to be celebrating. I'm going to be one of the examiners for the second test. The name's Uncle Midarashi. Make sure you remember that. Ibiki shook his head as he looked forward as he noticed, where's the other guy? Have you already scared him off? As Uncle snorted at that, the chance of she scaring someone like him off was laughable. No, he's coming. He just refused to join me in my awesome entrance. It was then that the door opened up as Mito breath hitched. It was pain, or possibly Grim, if her hypothesis was correct. Finally caught up, did you, Grim? Uncle said, with a cheapish smile. The moment she said that, Mito froze up. Sasuke sat up straighter, his fist clenched tightly. The others that were there as well, when they were talking with Kabuto, tensed up a bit. Even Kiba seemed to pick up on the connection as well. Ibiki narrowed his gaze as he heard what the woman said. So this guy, Pain of Kiri, was actually Grim. As soon as he finished his tests, he would head to the Hokage's office to alert him if he wasn't already aware, as Uncle nodded towards him. The fact that the S-Class Shinobi, an elusive one like Grim, was able to enter Konoha without anyone finding out, that was very worrying. As Naruto glanced over, Erza was glaring at him, just as stubborn and resolute as you remember. However, when he turned towards Mito, he saw the caution and fear there. Well, his impression on her back in the wave was one to remember. As Naruto glanced towards his own team, they were all still here. He then turned his gaze towards Kabuto, the boy that knew too much and caused him too much trouble. The little shit. As Naruto made sure to burn his soul into his memory, so that he could track him down in the forest of death. Kabuto had a smug smile on his face, like he knew that he would be alright despite what he did. However, he vastly overestimated himself, or severely underestimated Naruto if he thought he was going to be fine. My name is Pain. and I'll be one of your proctors for the next exam, he said. Right then, we're all caught up and introduced. Get up, Uncle said. I'll explain everything once we switch places. As Naruto left the room following Uncle, as the rest of the Jonins tag along, moments later they arrive to the gloomy forest. Welcome all to the Forest of Death, Uncle said. This will be the stage for your second part of the Chunin exams. Very soon you will learn just why it is called that, she said, with a smirk. Kiba snorted. Forest of Death, really? Is that the best you can come up with, he said. Uncle scowled, the Ines like a brat really knew how to spoil the mood that she was trying to create. However, he was just digging a hole for himself. Those that had to take the test more than once was rather pissed off that he was treating this like some kind of game, as his words of false confidence were not having the effect that he expected, seeing the glares that he was receiving. Yeah, Uncle said, you're very spirited, as she smiled, wickedly. As she threw a kunai, it sliced his cheek. She appeared behind him in a flash, as she gripped him by the shoulder. Kids like you end up dying first, she said, as she chuckled, spilling that wonderful red blood I love so much. As Kiba trembled in fright, as she released him, he stumbled forward and fell. As he was so freaked out, he was not looking where he was going, as he almost crashed into Naruto, but Naruto held up his feet, stopping him from getting too close. As Kiba turned and looked up, fearfully at Naruto. Stand up, shut up, and stop being a little shit, said Naruto. Kiba got to his feet as he scrambled away as fast as possible. Uncle made her way over. Stand up, shut up, and stop being a little shit? That's the best you could come up with, considering your whole ruthless and deadly rep. I was expecting something a bit better. As someone appeared behind her. Excuse me, you dropped this. As the woman had Uncle kunai in her tongue. As Uncle turned, that was a dangerous stunt. You shouldn't sneak up on people. I could have killed you, she said. My apologies. I'll be sure to watch my step next time. The grass can reach you release the kunai and step back. As Naruto watched her, something about her was definitely wrong. He could feel it. Do you want to get on with the explanation then, Uncle, said Naruto. Easy there, Tiger, there's no need to rush. Alright, she said, she turned her head back. This portion is a survival exam. 5 days. As she told them the rules of the exam with a hurt and every scroll, and also the waivers that they had to sign. So, one of her sound ninjas said, in other words, killing is allowed in this portion of the exam. Didn't you hear me the first time? You're supposed to get the opposite scroll from a team, by any means necessary. Me and Pain over there will be in the forest, but we're not gonna stop you from killing one another. Our job is to make sure that you don't receive any external assistance. As Naruto gaze turned towards the Konoha ninjas, as the only ones that did not flinch away was Mito, Erza, Sasuke, and a couple others, a Hyuga boy, and one looked like my guy, so much like him, and a girl with 2 bun in her hair. With Uncle finished, they signed the forms as they received their scrolls, as all of them lined up around their gates. So what is the plan, Naruto said. You take one side, and I take one. We could do it that way, I suppose. It will probably be better if we can just freestyle it though, just making sure that the teams are not held by their Jonins. And if they are, Naruto asks, then they're disqualified. Let them continue to take this part, but the moment they reach the tower, we let them know that they fail. By the way, as much fun as I'm sure it will be, try not to kill any of the Jonin, she said. Naruto lips quirk up in a grin. Oh, I'll try, he said. Time skip. 30 minutes later, Forest of Death. Kabuto shifted uncomfortably as he led his team through the forest. By rights, he shouldn't be feeling this way. He was an elite Jonin level shinobi who was trained personally by Orochimaru. He was so beyond the level of a normal Jonin it was laughable. Yet he felt nervous as he led his team through the forest. His 2 teammates were nothing special. 2 Konoha rejects who failed the big leagues and were seduced by Lord Orochimaru of promises of power and status. The 2 of them are fools, yet the greater man were taken in by Orochimaru promises. After all, just look at the Kazekage. The man was willing to betray his alliance and join up with Orochimaru to bring the leaf down, all for status, greater village contracts as well, wealthy, and new bloodlines. Whether Orochimaru would be that generous with him though, was rather debatable. The same as well could be seen for Mei Terumi, that idiot woman. He didn't know what she was playing at by sending Pain here, but she was an idiot if she believed she could refuse Lord Orochimaru. She would stick by the agreement that he set when he came to her as a Sonkage. Otherwise, she would die. He knew that his master was here somewhere in the forest. After all, young Uchiha was here, and he wanted him. Sasuke had the Sharingan after all, a bloodline that Orochimaru was most interested in. It was the reason why he infiltrated the forest, to give him a little gift so the boy would come and seek him out. Still, though he hadn't seen his master, he was probably keeping his distance in case Kabuto was being watched. He'd make a bigger skeptical of himself than he thought, by exposing Grim identity, as he shifted uncomfortably once again. "Come on you two, hurry up," he said. "We need to grab a heaven scroll, and get to the tower as soon as possible." Is Kabuto getting nervous? Yuri Akadu mock. The boy had a real chip on his shoulder. His attitude really annoyed Kabuto, but Kabuto knew at the moment he had to deal with it. "Don't annoy me, Yuri," said Kabuto as he adjusted his glasses. "Or what? You would tell your master on us," Mitsumi, Surgai said. He was also in his early 20s. Just like Yuri, he had a bad attitude, as he hated still being a genin. "You need to grow up, Kabuto, and stop running to your master like an obedient little puppy." Kabuto had to hold back his annoyance, however he heard something, like a tree branch. It sounded like it was creaking slightly. "Shut up, you two. I think someone's here." "Good," said Yuri. "It's about time I get to spill a little blood." As Mitsumi spoke, I heard that, but he was cut off. There was something shot from the trees. The only thing they saw was a glint, the silver glint. As Kabuto watched as Mitsumi's head fell to the ground, as it desecrated. "Mitsumi!" Yuri shouted. He spun around as his hand started to glow. His technique was to drain someone's chakra and use it for himself. However, he tried to catch a chain that came towards him, but the thing tore through his palm and pierced through his heart as it slammed him into the tree, killing him instantaneously. Kabuto saw Yuri's flesh and clothing rotting away. The tree was rotting away as well. It was like time was exponentially faster on anything that the chain touched. It was like the chakra devoured life itself. As Kabuto glanced around the surrounding trees, as he realized at that moment running away was not the option that he had at the moment. His attacker was the Grim after all, an experienced hunter Nin, who always get his opponents. He never failed. In comparison, Kabuto was most and foremost a hunter Nin. Even he couldn't beat someone who specialized in this kind of art, especially somewhere out here in the forest. "You must be feeling like a big man. A Jonin attacking a group of genin. Why?" "Because a genin hurt your feelings," Kabuto said. As he pulled on his own chakras, he prepared to fight, as he was still one of Orochimaru's strongest. Stronger than Kakashi ever was, he thought to himself. "That would be true if you were a genin," said Pain, as he took a few practice swings with his axe as he stood there, his feet rooted to the ground. Kabuto bent his knees as he ready to move the moment Pain lunged forward. "And what makes you believe I am not a genin?" Kabuto asked. Two chakra chains came from his shoulders as they hovered above him, like they were about to strike. Seeing them, Kabuto tensed, his eyes sharpened, as he activated his chakra scalpels that could literally tear through flesh and bone like they were nothing. This fight was gonna be no joke. It was gonna be hard and deadly, and he couldn't afford to make a simple mistake, otherwise he would die. However, Kabuto's attention was so focused on Pain, he neglected to focus on his surroundings, as he did not prepare for chains to explode out of the grounds and grab his leg as they sunk into his flesh. Kabuto screamed out in agonizing pain as they clamped onto him tightly. At first, he attempted to escape by using a Sunshin or using a body replacement technique, but Pain chakra wasn't just eating through his flesh, it was also devouring his chakra. The rest of the chains exploded forward as it came from the bottom of his feet. Kabuto's eyes went wide as he was gripped and stabbed. Blood came from his mouth as he gasped, as his breath was slowly leaving him. He tried to heal himself, however, Pain chakra was destroying its own medical chakra. He was then yanked forward. The last thing Kabuto saw was Pain, red eyes looking deep into his own, and it was done. There was not even a flicker of emotion in Naruto's eyes as he looked down at Kabuto's body rotting away. It was embarrassingly easy to find them and take care of them, as it kind of made Naruto concerned whether or not he just wiped out a group of genin. Not that he would lose much sleep over it if he had. Kabuto was a little shit revealing his secret like that. And the other two, he didn't really know much about them. But they probably were shitty people as well, as Naruto devoured their souls, as he decided to speak with you. So, were we right about that Kabuto? Was he indeed a spy? Or was he just a nosy little shit Naruto asks? Inside of Yu's domain, as he grabbed onto Kabuto's soul as he started to carefully examine it. Oh, wait a second, I'll have a little look. Just from first examination, I have to say, he was one messed up little shit. Really? Said Naruto, as he appeared in Yu's domain. Oh well, I'm honored, said Yu. You don't normally visit me. Usually he just spoke from where he was, as he manipulated Kabuto's soul. As Naruto ignores inner self-sarcasm, as he looked at the soul that Yu was tinkering with. Kabuto's soul was really corrupted. Dozens of dark marks stained his soul. It wasn't the worst that he's ever seen, but it was up there. As Naruto glanced over the vast land, hundreds of human and shadowy shapes moved around. There was more humans in the hell side of his soul than the heaven side. But considering that the majority of the souls that he eaten came from shinobi, it was not all that surprising, as Naruto decided to move over towards the two other Jonins that he had killed. It appeared that he was correct, they were not the goodest of people. However, they were just runts, cannon fodder, that allowed Kabuto to go unnoticed. With a sigh, Naruto flung them away, cast them into the remain of hell, where they would remain until he used them, as he then turned his gaze towards the heaven side. You know, said Yu, I wouldn't mind if you start reading some of those Ichi Paradise book that's Jiraiya wrote. As Naruto gave him a look, what can I say? Kakashi didn't just have memories of jutsus. He had a lot of memories of those books, and they were rather interesting. Of course they were, perv, said Naruto. Who knew, even when he was dead, Kakashi was still being a bad influence. Hey, I blame you, said Yu. We seriously need a girlfriend, and you are so goddamn oblivious. More than when Minaka from Ichi Paradise was chasing Kurosaka. You do realize that those characters are based from our mother and father, right? Said Naruto. No, they're not, said Yu. The names are completely different. Besides, stop avoiding the topic. We need a girlfriend. As he tried to shrug off what Naruto just said. Despite them not giving birth to Yu, he still had all of Naruto memories and he was Naruto, so it felt like they were his parents as well. I didn't know that you were into that kind of thing, said Naruto, as he ignored Yu's comment once again. It wasn't like he didn't want to find a girlfriend, he was just not in the state for it right now. There was no time, there was just so much going on. Piss off, said Yu. But being serious, you should go back. We're in the middle forest of death, and our body is on autopilot right now. Choo choo, said Naruto as he glanced over to the hellscape. There was a soul that was chained down, locked rather tightly down. How long do you think it will take for us to get all of Kabuto memories and knowledge? A couple of hours for me to get as much as I can out of him. Maybe longer. For now, they're all focused on the short-term memories. I'll share them with you once I find them. Alright, see you later, said Naruto as he glanced towards the figure that was chained down really tightly. Yeah, piss off, said Yu. Meanwhile, in Konoha. Minato, what are we gonna do? Now that we know that Grim is in Konoha, how do you want to approach it? Kushina asked in concern as she looked over towards her husband. They were in the count's room, with the head of the clans and the prominent shinobi advisors, as they were all discussing the fact that Pain was Grim, and that he was within Konoha, and if that was not bad enough, he was in the force of death, acting as a proctor for the exam. This put him around the ears of several clans, and not to mention his own daughters as well. And the last Uchiha, suffice to say, tension was running high. The meeting has been going on for a while now, and they couldn't come up with one definitive answer. There's not much that we can really do. Jury of the Sannin spoke up. We can't kill him. He's too prominent of a shinobi to just make disappear. More than that though, things between Kira are tense enough as it is. And with the Stone and Kumo still being as militarized and hostile to Konoha as they are, the last thing we need to do is make an enemy out of one of the other great villages. The last thing we want is for the Fourth Shinobi War to begin, when we have been enjoying for the past 2 decades relative peace. So you would let such a dangerous shinobi just walk right through the village, Ibiki asks. He's a dangerous and hostile shinobi that we just allowed to walk right through our gates. He didn't say that we shouldn't do anything, said Shikaku. All he said is that we can't kill him or get rid of him. What we can do is put some envoy tails on him and make sure to keep an eye on him 24/7 while he's in Konoha. The boy's a hunter name though. He can probably slip. The best of our operators. And with the Chunin exams going on, do we really have the manpower to spare? Inoichi asks thoughtfully. It is better safe than sorry when we're dealing with someone like this. And while we're doing that, we should send a message to the Mizukage, asking her to withdraw him from the exam. Jiraiya said loudly, getting all the attention on him. The last thing Jiraiya wanted was for someone to rush into something stupid and make a stupid move. It could get Konoha in a lot of trouble. Kushina snorted at that, as if she will do it just because we asked. I think you overestimate the influence that Konoha has, especially now that Kiri has become so powerful. Already it's rivaling Kumo, and is probably stronger than the stone. Is there any possibility that we can legally arrest him and detain him until the Chunin exams are over, or until the Mizukage takes him back, asked Inoichi. Well, we could arrest him, but we need a reason to do so. And so far he has not committed a crime in Konoha that we know of. We could arrest him for killing Kakashi, but that wouldn't work either. The two of them met in a neutral country. It would have been different if they were in the Land of Fire. We could have claimed that he was illegally operating in our territory. It's troublesome, he said, but I agree with Jiraiya. The best we can do right now is to keep an eye on him. Besides, I don't think that he will cause any trouble. I don't know why he's here in Konoha, but I don't think he's to cause trouble. Kiri themselves has just come out of a civil war. I don't think they're eager to start something stupid. Could we not just frame him for a crime and use that as justification to arrest or kill him, Ibiki said, as he pondered about maybe killing a shinobi from another village and placing the death on pain. It was not an honorable thing to do, but screw honor. Honor was for samurais and chumps. No, said Shikaku. All it would need is for Kiri to prove that he was innocent, and it would backfire heavily on Konoha, as Ibiki grunted at that. What do you think, Minato? Asked Kushina. For now, said Minato as the room became quiet and focused on him. We will place Grim on the civilians, and try to work out why he's here. We will also increase shinobi around Konoha. I want every active shinobi ready to act at a moment's notice. I am not sure what the Mizukage is up to, depending on whether she comes to Konoha or not. If her team passed through to the finals, then I will have a face-to-face discussion with her. Like what Jiraiya said, I don't want things to escalate. The loss of Kakashi, while devastating, should not be used to start a meaningless war. To do so will be to dishonor his memory and the memory of all the other shinobis who have died for Konoha to keep the village safe. What happened if it's a ploy by Kiri, and they try to attack during the Chunin exams? Or they use Grim presence here as an opportunity to steal one of our bloodlines, or try to assassinate you, Kushina asks, as you remember the issue back then with the Kumo shinobis. What they tried to do with the High Heiress by tricking and playing a ploy saying that you were here to sign a peace treaty. Kiri might try to do the same thing as well, and she had mixed feelings regarding Pain. A part of her felt like he was a normal person. He was funny and likable. Yet another part wanted to punish him for killing Kakashi and endangering her daughter. Then we kill him, Minato said bluntly. If he poses a genuine threat, then we end him. Konoha cannot be forced to seem weak. If it is, our clients will lose confidence in us, and the other villages will circle us like vultures. If Pain attempts something, then we kill him and make an example, and the Mizukage will be the one to be placed on the spot. As you say, Lord Hokage, said Jiraiya as he nodded, the rest of them nodding along, as that is what they will do. But guys, be end subscribe right here. If you want to see next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform, and also stick around for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels, and making 2 and making 3, which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy, guys. So you get 3 what ifs a day. The links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check out Anime King and Anime King 3. And also guys, remember to stay in tune for the rest of them. And also don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you can see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say we leap the hell out of here? See you guys soon. Peace guys.